Hey everybody, I'm Chanel Herlin and you're watching the New Music Buzz. On today's show, we talk to the cast of Dear White People. In our artist spotlight, we have Silent Pilot, and I get a chance to sit down with the cast of the highly anticipated Tupac film, All Eyez on Me. So let's not waste any time and start the show. All Eyez on Me is a film about the life of legendary rapper Tupac, who was gunned down in September 1996. This film covers more of a personal viewpoint of the rapper's life, and I got a chance to talk to director and producer Benny Boom and LT Hutton and some of the cast. Let's head down to the Four Seasons in Beverly Hills to learn more about this film.
We got a big platform, man. Use that platform to make change.
California.
We love your music, Tupac. You paint a picture for the listener. It's not always pretty, but it's real.
I'm reporting from the streets. I'm educating and keeping it real.
I have it on good authority that the FBI has a 4,000-page file on you.
Only 4,000, man.
You haven't actually acted before. This is your first role, so it's like this was totally meant to be. So how did it come about?
Back in 2011, my best friend, he told me about it. It was like a national calling online, and you had to submit your audition to the site, and along with that, you had to put it on social media, Facebook and YouTube. Okay. And so I wasn't going to do it at all, and he had told me right when it first came out, at the beginning of April. And so I waited to the deadline, April 30th, and then I was like, all right, let's do it. Got it in 30 minutes before it was due. And then my father seen it when I posted it on Facebook, because nobody knew that I was going to do it. And then he shared the video with LT Hutton, who was the producer of this movie, and who was actually a producer with him at Death Row when they were working together.
Because your father also actually worked with Tupac.
Yeah. And
did you ever meet Tupac?
I don't recall meeting Tupac.
Okay. Yeah, it's just crazy. But in the film, we see a side of Pac that wasn't in the papers. We see the soft, the generous kind of side. So how did you prepare to make sure that you showed that side correctly?
By doing research and talking to the people that were around him, you know, grew up with him. And that was actually a bonus and a gift within this, that I had people that grew up with him, and because that's what I wanted to know when I was on set. I was asking them those type of questions, like how was he regular, you know what I'm saying? I want to know the intimate details of their relationships and how he was as a lover, how he was with his mom, how he was just at the house cooling with his boys, because I feel like that's the stuff that'll that helped me to bring life to the character. To know how he was feeling just on a regular when it wasn't a camera on or anything. Yeah,
it's amazing. So let's talk about the film. I mean, this film is phenomenal. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So huge congratulations.
Thank you.
It's also known as telling the untold story. Yeah. So do you feel like everything was put in this film that you wanted to get across? Do you feel like you told the whole story?
There's definitely moments on the cutting room floor that we wanted the world to see, that we might get a chance for them to see in the DVD and later version. But I think the film tells the story that we want initially to tell. It is it's amazing to think about a man who was 25 years old, and today he wasn't a politician, he wasn't the richest man alive. He did everything with his words. His words are what captivates people, and so to think about that is just crazy. Yeah.
And you understand, let's be clear. 30 minutes in this man's life is a complete movie in itself. Right. So, yes, we 100% told everything we wanted to tell in this story. Could there have been 17,000 other stories?
Right. I mean,
more movies, yes. But for us in this one, it was about the balance. And I feel like we really accomplished, and you saw the film, we accomplished the journey you know, in a balance.
What we wanted to do was humanize Pac. There's so much mythology and legend about Pac and headlines and tabloid, and we wanted to rip all of that apart and give you a film that really spoke about the man.
So Kat, you play Jada Pinkett Smith. You did an incredible job.
Thank you.
Really, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And her bond with Tupac was really something that you get once in a lifetime, which she said. So how did you deal with that pressure of portraying that relationship in such an authentic way?
Well, I think that I cared more about embodying the essence, not only of her, but of her relationship with Pac, and that was something that it wasn't necessarily pressure, but more so the desire for energy accuracy.
Yeah.
You know?
And did you get advice from Jada for the film?
No, because I wasn't able to connect with her until after I wrapped. So.
Yeah.
She was just very supportive.
Yeah, but you're also a singer yourself, and your album dropped last week.
Yes,
so congrats.
yes, thank you. Babyface and I wanted to find different ways, which I guess it's kind of funny because having this film out and then having a record with Babyface, it's just like I'm kind of feeling like I'm surrounded by this iconic music energy. We wanted to bring it into the new and make it feel fresh and make it feel energetic and make it feel timeless, which is something that I believe is what real music is. It's timeless, which brings me right back to Pac.
Yes, yeah, it's perfect timing, the film and the album.
Right.
And what has the response been like so far? Are your fans loving it?
They've been so into it. People that aren't even into disco or funk or even pop are like, we love this record, and that makes me feel great. That makes me really feel great.
And it's so worth it at the end, all that time and effort in the studio.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you want to do things right, and it was I had wrapped this project in January, and that's literally when I started working on the album.
Wow, that's crazy. And then speaking of the film, do you have a favorite scene or moment that when you think about it, it always just comes to your mind?
Yeah, I wouldn't even say I'm necessarily in it.
Oh, please.
There's so many great moments in this film. Moments that I wasn't a part of, some that I were, that just kind of stick out and replay. I don't want to ruin it for people that are going to watch this. But there's some really beautiful moments. I'm somebody that kind of pride myself on being able to kind of break down a film or, look at the acting or, look at the directing. But, I kind of get lost when I watch this movie, and I was just like, I totally just fell apart while I was watching it, and not just because he meant a lot to me, but because he represents so many of us.
Yeah.
I've always felt that I was connected to Demetrius, and I think that's what made this movie a little bit more layered than maybe another a job for me, was that it never felt like this is a scene with Jada and Pac. This is like, this is a part of me, and this is a part of him, and this is how we're going to tell this story.
Well, it definitely came through. You guys did an amazing job.
Thank you so much.
Congrats.
Thank you.
There will be more buzz after these messages.
What we are setting out to do with community is not just about making shoes, but it's about using the shoes as a tool to help build the community.
What we really wanted to do was make a business that was better for the people that were involved in it.
We're a company that feels very strongly about community, and we're selling shoes as the vehicle to help support important issues that are happening within the community.
$10 from every pair of shoes that we sell gets applied to our mission.
Those platforms are homelessness, the arts, and education.
Part of that is making the shoes here in the local community in LA, right across the river.
There are shoemakers in LA that have not had a chance to demonstrate their craft. We can change that. And our motto is, choose well and make them last. These will be your go-to shoes, regardless of the situation. First, we started with Italian leathers. We have this high elastic EVA midsole, cable stitch detailing, your Ortholite insole for breathability, and our little signature hit with this hand-painted thing. I don't want to call it a thing. It's a heel tab, hand-painted signature heel tab.
We know that homelessness and violence in our communities are issues that need immediate attention. We want to contribute to long-term sustainable solutions to these issues. And we've partnered with Youth Mentoring Connection, Street Poets, and the People Concerned for the Homeless to help us do that. These groups work to provide self-worth and dignity to community members, providing them with a hand up rather than a hand out. We can help provide jobs to community members, and we can help Street Poets, Youth Mentoring Connection, and the People Concerned save lives. And of course, we're excited to provide amazing, super cool, long-lasting community shoes, handcrafted in our own backyard.
Netflix's Dear White People has caused quite a stir since its debut a few months ago, even though the film was released in 2014. We got a chance to get some insight into social injustice, race, and the N-word. Let's check it out.
Dear white people.
I just want to say that I find your show offensive.
Having a black vibrator does not count as an interracial relationship.
And highly divisive.
When you ask someone who looks ethnically different,
what are you?
The answer is usually a person about to slap the shit out of you.
We need to come together at times like this.
When are you gonna wake up to your white privilege, man?
I'm black.
Sorry, brother. Thanks for calling.
So I'm Logan Browning, and I play Samantha White in Dear White People. Samantha has a radio show entitled Dear White People, which she uses to share her thoughts on racist culture at Winchester on the campus. She uses the radio show to share her satirical, comedic views on things that really aren't okay with her or a lot of people on campus. Yeah, I see a lot of myself in Sam, just from a visual standpoint, being a biracial girl who I look black, and that's people see me as black, the world sees me as black, that's how I identify, but also being stuck between worlds and constantly feeling like you're having to try a little hard to be on one side or the other, and just being really passionate about social awareness and making sure that everyone, regardless of what they look like, understand the ramifications of negative behavior when it has to do with racism. I was definitely social aware before the show, but the show has opened my eyes to a whole new Pandora's box of ideas about colorism and race, and how I am influenced by those ideas, but also how I can be of influence to those ideas. For instance, as a light-skinned woman, overtly supporting the darker-skinned sisters around me and making sure that people understand that we have different struggles, and yeah, I've always been very adamant about protecting our men, protecting our youth, and the show has just elevated that. If people wanted to listen to me talk all morning or all afternoon, I would totally be a radio DJ. I think I would definitely have to find my specific angle and platform, but oh my gosh, I would love to do that.
Hey, I'm Marquis Richardson. I play Reggie Green. He is like the Malcolm X of the show. He's a tech-savvy computer science engineer and one of the more radical voices on the campus who, stands up for what he believes in, whether he's right or wrong.
Coco is unapologetically ambitious. She is a force to be reckoned with. She has her eyes set on the White House. She would definitely be president one day. She's the kind of girl that gets what she wants. She's super, super girly and a little bit of a diva, and I'm a little bit more fun-loving, I want to say, than she is. So it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun playing her.
It's about communication and understanding. The way you see certain events told from the perspective of different characters. I think it's about how we experience the same thing, but we process it in different ways. And I think the show illuminates how that different processing can lead to miscommunication, to dysfunction, to separating us. Yeah, I mean, it was very easy to identify with the character Reggie in the episode I directed. You know, I think as a young black man in America, you know, many of us can relate to getting caught up in a situation like that. So what I like to say is the line between me and him was quite short, you know, and it wasn't difficult at all to empathize with the character. You know, over the course of generations, you know, some of these traumas that we experience, I think they get passed on. You know, there's this feeling, you know, amongst people that can't be erased, you know, that can't be denied, you know, even though we might try to ignore it. And so I do think, especially, you know, I'm on Twitter and I saw the reactions to the episode. I do think people who maybe hadn't experienced that literally, the scenario that we cover in the episode, you know, they recognized it, you know, and they could trace it back to certain things that had happened to them. And so I don't think there's a generational divide between the story Justin's telling and the audience that we're reaching. You know, I think on the contrary, I think people are using the work of these actors who go so deep to really experience what it's like to walk a mile in these characters' shoes.
In media, with the use of the N-word, especially with the Bill Maher situation.
I know, man, it was crazy. It was crazy. I mean, look, I didn't write the episode. Again, as a director on television, I'm just a facilitator. You know, Phil Jackson calls the play, I go out and execute it. You know, it was one of those things. It was quite sobering to see that here we created this show, you know, directed this episode, you know, 8 months ago, and then here we are, the same conversation we cover, it just pops up on this, you know, spoken by this very famous, very empowered person. So I think these things are still relevant. And as you said earlier about the generational divide, I mean, hopefully, you know, 20 years from now, we won't need an episode like this. But I think we saw this week that we absolutely do and did and will.
Troy Fairbanks is the son of the dean. He's the golden boy on campus. He's got everything on a surface level going right for him. Nice suits. He's potentially running for student body president. He'd be the first black president if elected. That doesn't give away any spoilers. And so he's trying to balance being a politician, but also just being a young kid who wants to party, have fun, without too many responsibilities. And that was a lot of fun to dive into, of trying to balance both of those you know, characteristics or different personalities of Troy.
My character relates to me in real life as to, I feel like Lionel Higgins and I both try to find our own light in the world, you know. We try and get the facts instead of what people talk about and like tell us. So I feel like I'm very fact driven, yeah, fact oriented.
Got you. Would you hang out with him? Would he be your friend?
Would I hang out with him? Lionel. Of course, why not? Why would I not hang out with that guy? He's cool. He's like setting shit off in the show. So of course, he's got an afro, well, had one. But yeah, he's a dope dude.
My name is Logan Browning, and you've just been buzzed.
You can watch Dear White People on Netflix right now, and we really look forward to a season 2. After the break, we catch up with Silent Pilot as they made a stop here in LA. Hey everybody, I'm Chanel Hurden for the New Music Buzz. And Trinidad, here we come. Music, entertainment and movie news, gossip and so much more. We are packed with star power. Just see for yourself.
Hey, this is the designer, you just been buzzed.
We're BTS and you just been buzzed.
What's going on? My name is Neo and you've just been buzzed.
I'm Simon Cowell and guess what? I have just been buzzed.
Hi, this is Andrew Day, and you've just been buzzed.
I'm Vin Diesel, and you've just been buzzed.
My name is LL Cool J. You've just been buzzed.
Hey, where can I go get a drink around here? Are you sure we're in the right place?
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you've just been buzzed.
Need fast cash? Go to cityloan.com or call 877-553-9071 to borrow $3,000 or more with the equity in your payoff vehicle. Your car is your credit. With City Loan, over 99% of City Loan customers are in good standing every month. So call 877-553-9071 now, and if you sign up for a loan, you're going to receive a free gift card. Don't forget to mention promo code TVAD to receive your gift card, and also don't forget to follow City Loan and Facebook at City Loan Community, and follow us on Twitter at City Loan. Now back to the new music buzz.
San Francisco's Silent Pilot released their new album Heart Sounds on March 10th. This is their second album in 3 years, and we got a chance to talk to them about California, road trips, and they might be in the market for a good mechanic. Let's check it out.
Hey, this is Nick from Silent Pilot, and you're watching The Bubble.
Give me that West Coast golden state of mind, where the sunshine never dies, and your love is like the wave I ride beside you. Give me that open, orange-colored sky. Can you feel that? It's the motion in the ocean that makes you...
Anthony and myself, we used to go to a bunch of festivals together, and then we just decided that, you know, we grew up playing music, and we're like, why not try to start a band, you know, specifically Warped Tour. You know, we wanted to get on the Warped Tour, basically. It was kind of how it came about. And then we just started a band and put out a record, and...
Just like every band, it's just like, you want to start a band, dude?
I want to do that. I want to do what they're doing.
It was pretty simple. It wasn't like a long thought out thing. It was just like, dude, we play music, let's do that. We're friends, let's start a band. We were just trying to mess around and do like a pop punk cover of like songs, or well, no, it was a Drake song. We did, I think it was like Marvin's Room or something. We tried to like make a pop punk cover of it, and then Anthony like mocked it up on the computer, and you know, that's where we played it together. And then next thing you know, we're like, let's just do some original songs, and then boom, then there was a record. That's how it started.
That's still on YouTube, right?
No, not
Drake
that. That's a different one, but yeah.
That's another Drake song.
But
we started off as a Drake cover band, and we've moved on.
It's funny because on the first record, because of that, all of our demo songs were named after rappers. I think we had like a Kendrick song. Every song was like a rapper name for some reason. That's how it came. Yeah, it's like the working. Before you come up with the actual titles, like the working titles. Yeah.
California is the single from the album. We've been getting some like good responses from that. We have like a little like music video on YouTube. It's a fun song. We kind of wrote it about, it's like half and half about California, but like, you know, we're kind of referring to a girl as if, you know, it's like saying, you know, I love you as much as I love California, sort of. Is that a kind of just pulling that out of my ass? Like.
It paints a picture of California. So like, you know, we've grown up here. We've been in California our whole life. You know, we've lived, like, we all come from the Bay Area, but, you know, Nick's lived in San Diego. Anthony.
I was born in LA, actually.
Oh, were you really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, Anthony.
See, these things that we're still learning.
We're learning about each other.
Who are you?
But yeah, so I mean, we've lived all over the state, and it's a beautiful state. So it's like, for someone who doesn't even live here, has never been here, you know, we wanted them to hear the song and kind of like paint a picture in their head of what California is, you know. So.
So 2017. I mean, this is a big year for us. We put out the album in March. We're headlining the soundcheck stage at BFD up in the Bay Area, which is like a big Bay Area music festival put on by Live 105. We're planning on doing a tour. You know, we don't have anything planned quite yet, but we, you know, finally made it down to LA, which is, you know, a first for us. And then I think next month we're coming back down. We're playing like Carlsbad, San Diego, and you know, we're trying to get out there and, you know, show people what we do and have a good time and meet fun people. And
especially with the new music we just put out, we all really feel like we're kind of dialed in and like ready for all this. Before, you know, it just wasn't quite there, and I think now we're more excited than ever, and we really feel, you know, absolutely confident in the product that we have. So it's, you know, it's about time that we branch out. You know, we've built a pretty big following up in the Bay, and, you know, now it's time to leave the nest.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's fun too. We need to get the air conditioning in our van fixed though, because it's gnarly.
We turn the AC on and it blows heat all throughout the whole thing. It's like it's already hot.
It's so bad. It's so bad. Like going over the Grapevine uphill, you just can't use it. It's on Instagram at Silent Pilot Official, Twitter at Silent_Pilot, Facebook / Silent Pilot. YouTube / Silent Pilot TV. We've done really good. Yeah. Our cross branding is like on point. Obviously, we showed up late to the game and we were like, oh, someone already has it. We hit up the guy on Instagram and we were like, who has at Silent Pilot, and we were like, hey, I noticed you only have like 20 followers.
You haven't posted
and your name is like, you know, Ignacio, whatever. Like, is there a specific reason why you have to have Silent Pilot? And would you be willing to like let us have that? And like 3 months later, he hits us with this like DM, and he's like, oh yeah, you know, this is like really important to me, and you know, I might be considering, you know, if I could part ways with it for a substantial amount of money. And I was like,
oh, so you're one of those.
Okay.
You're one of those. Okay.
You're okay.
Well, you can have it. Ignacio.
So at Silent Pilot on Instagram, coming for you. My lawyer is coming for you. 20 years.
I'm Brandon.
I'm Nick.
I'm Anthony.
And I'm Zach. You've just been buzzed.
Ever since I started living out of a suitcase, I've been on a search for best boombox, the best way to travel, and over the years, I've tried everyone. You know, most of the boomboxes, you know, they got the lights and all that stuff, which is fine, but all I want is something that sounds great and is roadable. And this new generation that you guys are have brought out, it hits on all cylinders, I have to say. I mean, it's probably the best sounding for classic rock. I mean, the ones that I'll actually put my name on are they'll have a few little tweaks here and there, but in general, I mean, there are no knobs to break. It's like, I mean, I was playing one that was, I don't even know if it was on the market yet, but you had given it to me, and I've been using it for the last year, and the bass was so solid, the sound, it bounced itself off the table and hit the floor, and it didn't skip a beat. It's taken the place of equipment that's 2 or 3 times its size, you know, with no giving up on the sound, you know. I mean, one of them's great, but I've gotten 2 of them going, and it's like, forget about it.
So that's all we have. A special thanks to Netflix, the cast of Dear White People, Silent Pilot, the cast of All Eyez on Me, 42 West, and the 4 Seasons. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, double tap on Instagram, and follow us on Twitter, all at The New Music Buzz. I'm Chanel Herlin. Have a lekker day.
Give me that West Coast golden state of mind, where the sunshine never dies, and your love is like the wave I ride beside you. Give me that open orange colored sky. Can you feel that? It's the motion in the ocean that makes you brighter than the sun, yeah. Cruising down the 101. You're my
The New Music Buzz is brought to you by Monster Products, pure Monster quality with Monster sound, Rock and Roller Suitcase Turntables, Vinyl's new best friend, and City Loan. Get cash for your car today. For more music entertainment news, go to www.thenewmusicbuzz.com.
Peace out.